Hi, welcome along. It's Ian Simon reading through my book, The Double Programme. I hope you're enjoying it so far. This is now going to be starting Chapter 2. During the following week, Tom and James made it their mission to find out as much as they could and apply for the apprenticeship. They spent hours at Kingsminford Library finding out about apprenticeships, as neither of them had considered it an option before, and they had not taken any notice when their career advisor had spoken about them. It felt strange spending time in a library when all the other school children were enjoying their summer break. The only other occupant was a middle-aged man studying steam locomotives. They knew that the competition would be tough, as a lot of kids didn't want to go into higher education, and the apprenticeship was a great alternative. Earn while you learn had become the well-known buzzwords for apprenticeships, and they were no longer considered an option solely for one side of the class divide. Their interviews were scheduled for Monday afternoon, and the sun was beaming as they hopped on the number 10 towards Brierley Hill. They passed through the familiar streets, watching people go through their usual daily routines of shopping, chatting, and because of the school holidays, children playing games in the street. Everyone was enjoying the clement weather and were desperately hoping that this summer would be a good one. Because of the general mood, everything seemed to be in glowing technicolor. Vivid colours of the streets against the sky and the flowers open in front of the gardens painted a picture of hope and vitality. But everything changed as they entered Brierley Hill. The colours subtly dimmed, the greyness of the air taking the shine off everything and writing its gloom across the faces of people walking the streets. Their faces had faded, making them look as grim as their surroundings. Even though the pavements were busy, the street felt emptier, overshadowed by the industrial backdrop that made up the local scene. "Why do buses always smell the same?" James asked, sniffing the air. He always noticed such things and found the world interesting, and loved to make connections that other people did not see. The smell in question was a curious, heavy mix of diesel, body odour, and something that James could not quite place. He wondered if it was something in the pleather of the seats, or maybe the liquid they used to sanitize the windows. Tom said. He wasn't in the mood for idle chit-chat. "It's really kind of foul," James said. He had the ability to drag you in, making even the meaningless tripe sound interesting. "I wonder if the factory will have its own smell." "Are you ready for today?" Tom snapped in frustration, taking the opportunity to bring up more important topics. "What do you think they'll ask us about?" They bantered back and forth, trying to anticipate the types of questions that would be asked. Tom found it of a great help. He was a bundle of nerves. The exercise reassured him that he did in fact know his stuff, and he even got a few pointers from James. He hadn't realised that he'd been holding himself so tightly until he felt himself relax into the plastic of his bus seat. Maybe James had been right. He did have a stench about him. After about 20 minutes, they arrived in Bank Street, just opposite the police station that dominated the crossroads at the northern end of the main high street. To give it such an important sounding name was misleading, though. There was nothing about this area that could be called high anything. The entire town was draped with soot, the cost of being situated too close to the smog-bellowing beast. Central Steel Works had 4 electric arc furnaces, which were much cleaner than the blast furnaces, but still managed to cover Brierley Hill with a dark carpet of pollution. The people who lived in the local area looked beaten down by the surroundings, as if the joy had been sucked from their lives. It had been like this for as long as Tom and James could remember, but they never let it get to them. Their youthful minds couldn't emphasize the situation, and they were yet to experience how life could pummel you into submission. They jumped off the bus and turned left into Dudley Road. After a short walk, they arrived outside a 2-story red brick office building, nestled behind huge iron gates. It looked very unwelcoming. The dirty glass windows seemed to dare the boys to enter, but Tom was hesitant, overwhelmed by the smell and noises emanating from the site. James, however, was completely unfazed as he pushed open the pedestrian gate and strolled up to the office building. heading for the slab-like doors, hiding under the grimy sign that said reception in 6-inch letters. Thanks for listening. That's the end of the first part of chapter 2. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to know more, please tune in tomorrow for more of me reading it out. If you want to buy the book, have a look in the description below, and there's a link to Amazon where you can buy the book. If not, welcome along tomorrow and we can do a little bit more of the book. Thanks for listening. Bye now.